Hi there, Shane at Isle of Wight Bushcraft. Well, this time out I've got a day and a night solo overnighter planned. Things don't quite work out as planned, but all ends well. Also, I'll be discussing some bushcraft goals in this, and I hit the Fatwood Bonanza as well. So all this coming up, so stay tuned. After a short walk along this weathered coast, I made my way up to the place where I intended to hang my hammock for the night. Well, slight problem. The woods that I've just been in, the landowner was driving his little 4x4 and happened to see me and politely informed me that it was private land, which I didn't realise, thought it was a public wood. But he was very gracious and I was very polite to him, and I asked if I could stay the night in my hammock on the land, but regrettably he said he couldn't really, because he has female horse riders ride through there early in the mornings, and if they saw a strange man hanging between the trees they might be a little bit frightened or concerned. So I understand that totally, and but it's not all bad news, because I asked him if he had any other woods nearby, because he obviously owns quite a lot of land in the area. And he's kindly given me permission to camp and put my hammock up in this copse for the night. And I'm not too far from the coast either. The sea's only a couple of 100 yards down that way, so I can hear the sea coming in. So that makes for a nice ambience. So I'm just going to find a little spot in this lovely little copse and make camp. A curious looking fungus. Now when I first saw this, I thought from a distance, you know what I'm thinking? No, it's not chaga, especially grown on a sycamore tree. It's a black jelly, and I'm not sure what that's called actually, so I'm going to have to ID that a bit later. Well, I think this spot will do nicely. tidy it up a little bit. I've got a nice little area. I've got no big trees that can come down on me, no widow makers, and I've got some substantial sycamore in which to hang my hammock between, so I think this will do nicely. So first to come out of the bag is the tarp. So we put that up and I can hear, feel a few spots of rain. So there's none forecast, but that's no guarantee. So we'll get this up sharpish, I think. This was a mixed woodland with pine, elder, beech and sycamore. I'd opted to site my camp for the night among this small stand of sycamore trees on the edge of this small wood. That way I had some shelter from the wind, but I could still hear the soothing sound of the sea in the distance. So I'm using the DD 4x4 multi-cam tarp for tonight, and as you can see I'm using what I call the Dutch barn setup. I'll take you inside and the amount of room that you've got, particularly for standing, as I said before in another video, no stooping at all hardly, so very spacious, and I find it's a really good setup. So I'll take you inside. Well, as you can see, I can stand and I can work around, stand upright, no stooping. Okay, so that's the hammock up. I'm just going to put the my utility line across the top of the tarp and put the bug net up. So I've just got my utility line and I'm going to put that up either end now. Right, anyway, so I've got the shock cord and put some little carabiners on here. Just clip that up to my utility line. Same as this one, and if you're not sure what I'm using here with this utility line, I have done another video on this. So if you watch that, it'll explain how to make it. And look at that. That's brilliant. All I've got to do now is put my sleeping bag in there, my thermal insulation, and we're good to go. Something to eat. just hang my coat up there, and there we are, camp made. So I've got my hammock ready, got my thermal, I've got a sleep pad actually in between the two layers as insulation. Got a nice bag and a half in there tonight. I pushed the boat out a little bit and bought the old big Vango bag and a half. 3 seasons should be plenty. It normally keeps me really lovely and snug and warm. So I should have a good night tonight. As you can see, I've got all my bits and pieces hanging up. Some on the utility line, and the only thing I've got on the floor is just a few little knickknacks that I'm going to be making for lunch in a moment. But as you can see, like, look at the room I've got. I'm not stooping, plenty of room, so it's a great setup this. And where I've got the sides dropped down, like I say, it's a Dutch barn, what I call a Dutch barn arrangement. There's a bit of wind and it's keeping it out. It's you can probably see the top wafting blowing about a little bit, but it's keeping the wind out and giving me plenty of headroom. Normally when I've got it sharp like that at the top, you're like this, you know, and after a while it makes your back ache a little bit. But this is it's great, lovely setup this. If you've not tried it yet, give it a try. I'm sure you'll be happy with it as well. Anyway, I'm going to have something to eat now, I think. So I think from now on, when it comes to hammock and tarp setup, I think this is going to be my go-to arrangement. I like this, works well. So I'm just putting a fire lay in. The ground's very wet, like that, and putting a fire lay in like that will give the fire a good start. As you can see, I put it in a little pit, a little fire pit as well. So what I'm doing now is just putting some green stakes in, and I'll put my little circular griddle on those, and as you can see, I've got a nice little cooking platform then. I don't want too big a fire because I just want to cook my lunch. There we go. Brilliant. Right, get some man up soup going now, I think. So what I'm using today is I've got some of my little diddy witty fire pouch. I've got some birch bark in there, and I'm using a bit of firewood, fat wood as well. So I'm just scraping some birch dust now for my fire. Wind's blowing it away. Can't have that. Nice bit of man up soup there. That's broccoli, kale, all the greens basically blitzed up with just a tad of blue cheese in and some salt, and I'll tell you what, I have that every day for the greens. Very good for you. Having enjoyed a lunch cooked on a campfire, I cleaned up my things and went for an amble in this delightful little woodland. And already there are signs of the coming spring. Well, it's lovely sat here in the wood again this evening. Got a lovely fire going. I found a load of these old pine roots, and they might look like they're rotten and covered in moss, but they're actually full of fat wood. And just a couple of those on, and they burn in for about an hour, hour and a quarter. Just to give you an idea, 2 lovely pieces of fat wood. Oh, it's absolutely rich with resin, and they're burning for ages. Anyway, it's lovely to be out in the woods again. I'd just like to say hi to Tim, Eric, Derek, Rob, Mark and Nick and James as well. All of us are going to do the West Highland Way in May, so all looking forward to that, guys. So I'll see you all then. And just like to mention as well, I've got a couple of bushcraft goals that I'd like to achieve. One of them is making a fire completely naturally, and another one which I don't think I'm going to realise on the Isle of Wight. I'd love to go on a charger hunt and find my own charger, but like I say, the likelihood of that happening on the Isle of Wight is very slim to nil. But check this out, guys. So I'm obviously not out on a bushcraft trip. I'm just visiting Norway for a ski trip, but ever the bushcraft, I thought I must keep an eye out for some charger while I'm there. And just found this nice lump here, and some down the bottom here as well, so I'm going to harvest that, take that back with me, because I think the Norwegian charger has got a lovely flavour to it. So yeah, my first ever charger find. It's not in the UK, it's in Norway, but it was a goal of mine to find some charger, so I'm really chuffed about that. So I've been looking around. I've sort of come off the slopes and I'm having a look in the birch trees along the slopes, as I said, for some charger, and I've just really hit the jackpot. I'm standing in a bit of a precarious position, but I'll bring you around in a sec, and there's a load of charger just behind this piece of wood here. I'll bring you around. Oh. So there we go, guys, look at that lot. I'm going to harvest that. There's loads of it. I'll take that, there we go, look, all that there. Great load of charger. So my face lit up when I saw that. So I'm going to harvest that and take that back home with me. That's a lovely find. So you can see where I've harvested all this here. So I've got a lovely great lump. Just going to take this bit off now, and I'm going to leave some on the tree just down here for regrow, but yeah. So for my first ever chaga hunt today, I've really hit the jackpot, and I'll tell you, I'm really chuffed about that. Really finished off the ski trip this has doing this. It's yeah, liquid, brown gold this stuff, as we know. So anyway, I'm going to crack on and finish harvesting this. See you guys later. Pretty good that. I was pretty good to find that in Norway. First time I looked for it, I was really chuffed to find that. And I dried it all out, and I've got enough to last me a year now, so really pleased. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy a few hours by this beautiful fire with these pine roots burning. They're burning beautifully, getting a lovely bit of heat from them. And so I'm just going to kick back, relax a little bit, enjoy the woods, this lovely warmth, and then I'm going to hit the sack. And if I don't run out of battery power, because it is cold and it's playing havoc with my battery, see you in the morning, guys. Well, that's a good night's sleep actually, folks. I had one of the best night's sleeps I've had. I woke up feeling quite refreshed. It's a really comfy night in the hammock. Really warm as well without sleeping. So it's just having a bit of breakfast down, then I'm going to pack up and head on home. Well, there we are, all packed up and ready to go. Been a lovely day and night camp. Well, alas, ends another wild camp outing. It was nice to enjoy the peace and the solitude in this beautiful and delightful little woodland, whilst at the same time practicing some bushcraft skills. Well, thanks for joining me, folks. I hope you enjoyed that, and take care everybody, and I'll all being well, see you on the next video. Take care now. Bye for now.